with some white belly patch like you can see here in this picture. Its eyes are small, but its head is huge. Its head is 1/3 of its body. Here's some more information about right whales. Adults can grow up to 42 to 52 feet long, bigger than this room. I need 2 volunteers. Easton and Jocelyn. Now, you'll help bend the whale. So, as far as over in that corner as you can go, Easton. Drop it. If you can get into the corner any further, I think that'll be good. We're gonna.
It's still going.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
I had to move under it.
Alright, Jocelyn.
Oh, it's caught. Ellie, your pencil holder.
Yeah, just move it over. So,
No, it's caught in your pencil holder.
I'm right there. What? Oh, the chicken. Where'd the string go?
We are way out in the
And it's still in
I think you broke.
Can you see Jen? She's way out at the edge over there.
There's still more left. There's still more left. Yeah.
Okay.
It was almost the end of the.
Gee.
Wow, that's how long they are?
That's a long
It's longer, probably. But.
Still, they're huge.
Yeah.
Enormous monsters.
Easton, you
Oh,
can
let go.
We're
We're giants.
Let's go,
Easton,
Let go. Let go. Let go.
Audience.
You can go back.
Hit me in the face.
They have 2 blowholes, like you can see here. And no dorsal fin, because this is where the dorsal fin would be. There is no dorsal fin.
Oh.
Uh-oh. A tail called the fluke. They have short pectoral fins, which help guide them through the water. Next up is Cassidy to tell you about their habitat.
Thank you, Jen, for what they look like. I'm going to teach you about the right whale's habitat. They live in the saltwater in the northeastern Atlantic coast. They have been spotted near Iceland, which is near the North Atlantic Ocean. They also live in the Pacific Zone, which is in the North Ocean. They like to stay in warm water, but not too warm. They live in the upper 300 to 600 feet. They also visit islands. Here's able with diving.
Thank you, Cassidy, for sharing their habitat. As I said earlier, they are baleen whales. And this is a better picture, as you can see here. And I was saying earlier, it's basically like when you use a strainer. So the water and all that goes in their mouth, and then they push it out and then eat their food. Their food is usually less than 100 meters down from the top of the ocean. They eat from 2,000 to 5,000 pounds a day, which is a lot compared to humans. and or even big mammals that live on land. They eat zooplankton, krill, pteropods, and copepods. This is a picture of a copepod. A copepod and krill and all the other things that they eat are about as long as the millimeter mark on your ruler, which is also approximately the size of a grain of rice. If you want to pass this around, they are planktivores, which means that they eat plankton, which is what these are. And that's them underneath a microscope, which is a lot bigger compared to what they normally are. So then is Kira with breeding and babies.
Thank you for the wonderful slide on diet and hunting. I'm Kira, and I'm going to be presenting breeding and babies. The females that give birth are usually around 10 to 11 years old, and then they're only pregnant for 1 year. They usually go to Georgia and Florida if they give birth because over there it is warmer, because if they give birth in the cold water, the babies would not survive. The babies are called calves, and the mothers usually only give birth to one calf at a time. And the calves are born tail first because their tail is flexible, so it just goes at the under their stomach, so it's easier. And then some of the calves are born white, but as they grow older, they turn black. The calves are 15 feet long when they are born, and usually when calves are first born, they weigh up to 2,000 pounds. And they nurse from their mothers from 9 months to 2 years. And the calves will stay close with its mom for 1 to 2 years for protection. And they stay nearby for their mother for the first 10 years for more protection because they are still smaller than the mothers, so it's easier for other animals to prey on them. And then usually the calves are always seen with their mothers, so if you see pictures, you will probably see them with their mothers. And the mothers and calves have strong bonds with each other when the calves are first born. Next up is Amelia with predators and endangerment.
Kira for that beautiful slide on breeding and babies. I'm Amelia, and I will be sharing about North Atlantic right whales, predators, and endangerment. So they are the most endangered of all large whales. We've been trying to protect them since 1972 because whalers, who were people that hunted them for oil, are no longer a threat. Their numbers have declined 26% since 2010, and that brings me to my chart. So in 1990, they were kind of at their lowest because of recent whaling. They started to come up, and then in 2010 here, they started to come down again. So right now, there are only 300 to 400 North Atlantic right whales left that we know of because they're kind of hard to find. And they're on the brink of extinction, which I'm sure you guys know what extinction means. They could be gone forever. So us humans caused most problems for them, such as hunting them for oil, because we used to make lamps and lubricants out of them. Entanglement, which is when people drop fishing lines or other things that they could swim into and then they get stuck in them, which then they can't move and then they can't get to their food. Vessel strikes, which are boats basically hitting the North Atlantic right whales, which tragically hurts them so much that they pass away. Oceans warming, which is global warming, where their food heats up so it dies, and then they die because they don't have any more food left to eat. And sound pollution, which is when people will blast sounds in the ocean for days or hours, weeks, months on end for industrial purposes, or simply boats passing by could hurt their ears from that. So if we have slower vessels, that could keep from hitting the whales. I researched this, and it said that they should be 12 miles per hour because the North Atlantic right whales are slow. As Ava said, they're only 6 miles per hour. So the moms protect calves from predators by forming a circle around them. Most of the time, this is also with other North Atlantic right whales. This is also how they protect themselves. And orcas and sharks only go after calves because the moms are way bigger than calves, and orcas and sharks, so the calves are like this and their moms are huge. So the orcas and sharks go after the calves because they can't go after the moms because they're so big. Next is Landon with other interesting facts.
Thank you, Lilifer, for that wonderful presentation about North Atlantic right whales. Right whales have two. Let me start over. Right whales have callosities, which are these big wart-looking things over here. When they blow, they can make a V-shaped spout when they're blowing, and it can blow up to 30 feet in the air. That's almost the length of your entire tongue. When they sneeze, it can go up to 300 miles an hour. Imagine that speed on anything. Here's a video on the North Atlantic right whale. Right there, as you can see, there's a V-shaped spout that I was talking about earlier. Part 2. There could be up to 300 hairs found in the lower jaw and 100 on the top jaw to help find food because since their eyes are on the side of their head, they can't see directly in front of them. So when fish come by, or their krill, like Ava was talking about, since they're planktivores, so when they come up, they brush their hairs. That's how they know to open their mouth to eat. And they can be boiled to make oil, as Amelia was talking about in Predators and Endangerment. They can have a top speed of 10 miles an hour, but their average is 22 miles an hour because they're so huge that they don't move as fast. They can live up to 50 to 100 years. That's about the lifespan of a human. Their scientific name is a tongue twister, Ubelina glacius. Try saying that 10 times fast. They could be extinct in 20 years if we don't help these magnificent creatures. Here is a video on the North Atlantic right whales. Noah is something that is trying to protect them.
North Atlantic right whales are baleen whales.
That's what
The
Ava
female
was talking
microscopic
about,
organisms.
and
They can grow up to 52 feet long and live 70 years or longer. North Atlantic right whales primarily live along the east coast of the United States and Canada. They feed and mate in the northeast for most of the year.
that is what Kira
In
was
the
talking
winter,
about.
some migrate down the coast, where pregnant females give birth in the warmer waters off the southeastern United States.
That is
They
a
travel
mother
alone
and their
or in
calf,
small
as you
groups
can
and
see.
can be seen swimming and eating together.
Here's what scientists are doing to help. Caden, take the floor.
Thank you, Langdon. Scientists are counting whales by using satellites, drones, and tracking devices. Scientists are trying to come up with whale-safe fishing gear. We are sending an alert hotline to let people know where whales are. And if you use noise, it will if you use loud noise, it will interfere with their behavior and communication. You can help by shopping for toys made by or near the USA. You can try to clean up around Rio and other beaches and use less plastic. If If you are on a vacation, you need to drive slow when you are driving a boat.
So these are the whales that both classes are adopting. Mrs. Carney's class is adopting Kleenex and Drippy Nose, and our class are adopting Calvin and Hobbes. And these are the mothers and the calves.
On Friday, April 7th, we will be holding a bake sale. We invite you to come to help raise money for our whales, Kleenex and Drippy Nose. No, Drippy Nose, Calvin, and Hobbs. There will be lots of cool ocean-themed treats. Do you have any questions?
How much money should we bring for the bake sale?
$2. Ms. Bongert?
Yes.
So I think it was Kira. Your slides were about babies.
Yes.
You said that the mom can only have one baby. Can she have another baby later on in life, or they're only allowed to have one in their lifetime?
They can have more babies. It's just like at first there's they just can't have twins.
Oh, okay.
What triplets?
Quadruplets.